Hello, I'm Zeke, and welcome to the Zekely Podcast. Let's talk Pennsylvania. The guest I have today is a detective and resident of McKeesport, Pennsylvania, which is in Allegheny County. He also serves as a school board member of the McKeesport School District and is a Democrat running for the pivotal state House seat in HD 35. Thank you so much for being here, Dan Goughnour.
I'm Zeke, a doctor, a Pennsylvanian, and an unapologetic supporter of democratic values. You might have seen me on social media working my ass off for Democrats and meeting some pretty amazing people along the way, like President Barack Obama and Governor Josh Shapiro. For years, I've knocked thousands of doors all over Pennsylvania and poured my heart and soul into supporting candidates and causes that make a difference, from local school board races to national elections. The personal is political, and I take every election in Pennsylvania personally. Where the mainstream media has failed you, I will give you truth and independence. You'll hear from Democratic leaders, candidates, and changemakers who are working to improve the health of the Commonwealth, and it won't be boring as hell. No matter where you are, I'll meet you with hope and a plan to make your community better one day at a time. Welcome to the Zekely Podcast. Let's talk Pennsylvania.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's great to see you. Well, we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to, play some games, have some trivia, and talk about you. So you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is play a little game. The first time we're going to do this is called the Gibberish Game. Okay. And you have your cell phone on you. So I'm going to text you a couple different sentences that are in gibberish. And as you say them, it will be apparent what it means. Okay. So I just sent it to you. So just start at the top and say it out loud so people can hear you. So what's the first one?
McKeesport.
All right. So start saying that and slow it down. Slow it down. McKeesport.
McKeesport.
Right? Yeah. So there you go. So first one, McKeesport. So that's the nature of the game. All right. It's a little gibberish game. So what's the next one?
Dalehurst Whitfield.
Keep going.
Dalehurst Whiffle. I'm sorry. Dalehurst Whiffled. You got me on that one. I don't know about that one.
All right. So we'll do it together. Dalehurst Swift. Dalehurst Swift.
That's a pretty good one.
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. All right. Try the next one.
Sundane Height Food Paul. Sundane Height Food Paul.
You're close. Do you hear it?
Sundane Height. Sunday Night Football.
You got it. Sunday Night Football. Very good. You got that one. All right. What's the next one you got? This is a fun game, man. This is an actual game you can play with your kids. It's a lot of fun. Keep going.
Call Hawk Inc. Do toilet. Wow.
You're doing great, Dan. This is good.
Call Hawk Inc. The toilet.
This is too much fun.
You got to help me out with that one again.
All right. Call Hawking the toilet. Call Hawking the toilet. Clogging the toilet?
Gotcha.
Clogging the toilet. All right. 2 more to go. Try the next one.
Borheedopol.
You almost had that one on the first go.
Borheedopol.
Keep going.
Borheedopol.
Burrito bowl. Burrito bowl. Burrito. Yeah, you got it. It's a burrito bowl.
You got
like a Chipotle.
I don't know how the heck you came up with that, but
yeah, that's a good one. Burrito bowl. All right, this last one. I bet you are this one. I guarantee it.
Live Fuff Dupe Hearty. Live Fuff Dupe Hearty.
What are you, Dan? You almost had it. Keep going.
Live Fuff Dupe Hearty.
You are. You're the life of the party.
Life of the party.
Life of the party.
That's a true story. I typically am.
I believe it, man. Thanks, Dan, for playing the gibberish game first time on the Zekely Podcast. That's perfect. All right, a little bit more serious now. What made you decide to run for this important state house seat?
It wasn't necessarily in my deck of cards. It wasn't something that I really planned on doing because my good friend Matt Gergley, we envisioned him having a seat for 100 years. And, unfortunately, he passed. And I wanted to look to expand my role of helping people, just not only from McKeesport, but, the whole 35th district and all of Pennsylvania.
And what can people do to help your campaign, whether they live in your district or not?
We've been knocking on a lot of doors. We're recruiting anybody that would like to come help and spread Dan for PA to the whole 35th district. We're always recruiting volunteers to come do the grassroots, campaign.
Yeah, I'll be sure to post your website for you so people can sign up to help make phone calls or door knock for you. I'll make sure I put that up there for you.
Thank you.
So I wanted to pay respects to Matt Gergely, who again suddenly passed away and was serving in the seat you are currently running for. So you worked with him very closely. I wanted to give you a chance just to highlight his legacy. Now, just keep his memory alive.
I mean, he was like the definition of like a champion for the area, the 35th district. I mean, the guy, he had the slogan "throw in every borough," and that just wasn't a slogan. That was like real life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he would call me stressing every night about trying to fix some sort of situation. He was always, his phone was always on. He was always trying to help people, but he was also a better family man. I mean, he leaves behind a beautiful wife and kids, and he was just an awesome guy, great person.
Yeah, it is a huge loss for Pennsylvania, and may his memory be a blessing. So thank you for that. All right, so let's play a little trivia. Okay, you like the Pittsburgh Pirates? You heard about them?
Yeah, I mean, I like them. I don't really like their outcome that they typically have, but I like them.
You like them? All right, well, let's see how well you know the Pittsburgh Pirates, okay? So multiple choice. All right, which player was nicknamed the Road Runner for his speed on the bases? Okay, was it Matty Alou, Omar Moreno, Starling Marty, or Dave Parker?
Dave Parker.
Matty Alou. Now, I am terrible at sports. If anyone ever watches this podcast, they know I'm not a sports guy. So
I knew it wasn't Sauron Marte.
Yeah.
He's more recent, so we'd
okay.
Well, that would have been in my brain.
Matty Alou's the Roadrunner. All right, next one. Who was the last Pirate to win an MVP award before Andrew McCutcheon in 2013? Was it Willie Stargell, Barry Bonds, Dave Parker, or Bobby Bonilla? Or Bonilla? I don't know if the L's go together. Bonilla?
Can you give me a hint? What year?
Oh, before, I guess, 2013.
I don't know if Bonds ever won one as a Pirate. I'm going to say Barry Bonds.
It was Barry Bonds. Very good. All right. What longtime Pirates catcher and manager was also a professional opera singer? Was it Jason Kendall, Manny Sanguian, Tony Pena, or George Gibson?
Opera singer.
Opera singer. Yeah, it was Manny Sanguian. Yeah, opera singer. There you go. In 1971, the Pirates made MLB history of it being the first team to field a starting lineup consisting entirely of what? Players under 25, switch hitters, African-American and Latino players, or players drafted by the Pirates. In 1971, made history first.
African-American and Latino players?
That is correct. That's pretty historic.
Yeah.
I did not know that. All right, last one.
That was a lucky guess.
Yeah, you did a good job. What former Pirates outfielder hit a walk-off home run in the first ever MLB at-bat? Was it Eddie Moore, Andrew Lambeau, Kevin Young, or Jose Batista? Take a stab at it.
Jose Batista.
Eddie Moore. There you go. Well, thank you for playing Pittsburgh Pirates trivia. It's better than I would have gotten, I'll tell you that.
I would have been better at the Steelers.
I know you have 3 kids. So what's been the hardest part of being a parent for you?
Just the other day I was telling somebody I don't know what I did with all my time prior to kids. Like I think I slept a lot. I don't really know.
I know
my poor wife. My daughter. She wakes up in the middle of the night. She sees daddy's face coming in the bedroom. She don't settle down or anything. She wants mama. So like my poor wife, even if I try to help her, I can't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I know you really don't know how much time you have until you have kids. I have 3 kids too, so it's just constantly running around for the activities and like you said, up in the middle of the night. So yeah, I agree. The time constraints are a lot. Let's talk about why you're a Democrat and why you represent the Democratic Party.
I like to say that I'm a common sense candidate. I'm calling my campaign manager. He's probably tired of hearing me saying it. I say it everywhere we go. Mm-hmm. 99% of these votes are, in this particular case, votes that need to be done are about helping people. And, what's best for the 35th district in this particular instance and what's best for the whole Commonwealth. Mm-hmm. So, to help people, it aligns more with that side of the aisle for the most part, for lack of better terms. I guess, born and raised a Democrat, my whole family is, so I just continued with it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. I mean, clearly the values of the Democratic platform align with you and they have through your family lineage. So I'm very grateful that you will have that vote in your district and will represent for everyone in Pennsylvania. So
absolutely. It's about helping people. People sometimes forget that.
Absolutely. You coach youth sports, correct?
Correct.
What types do you coach?
Baseball.
Baseball.
My oldest son, Gavin, the last, 4 or 5 years, been involved in baseball. but I think he broke my heart. I don't think he's going to play this year. At least that's what he led to a couple of weeks ago. So
Why not?
he wants to become a professional motocross racer now. So, and I
Well,
can't coach him on that. Yeah, I
no.
used to ride around on dirt bikes and that, but nowhere near could show him what to do to achieve becoming a professional.
How old is he?
He'll be 11 in May.
11, motocross racing. Wow. And he's been doing it for a while now, along with baseball, or this is like a whole new endeavor?
No, this is newer. This last few months, he kind of got into it, and he jumped into the deep end. He's ready to go. So.
Dan, who gave him that idea? Who gave him the idea to do motocross?
Good question. I'm not really sure. YouTube.
He watched some YouTube shorts, and now he's like, I want to be a motocross racer. Interesting. Well, have you ever dealt with any intense parents while you're coaching baseball?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes from your own team and also the opposing team for sure,
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I wanted to play a little game with you called Get Coachy With Me, where I'm going to describe some different types of coaching, okay? And in the end, I'm going to tell you what kind of coach you are, all right? So I'm just going to describe some things. You're going to say, yeah, that's me, or no, that's not me. And I'm going to spit out your coaching style at the end. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
All right. So allows the individuals being coached to have freedom and hold themselves accountable. Does that sound like something you do?
That's me.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Creates a balance in all parts of decision-making. Coaches that use this style believe everything connects, so finding harmony is essential. Yes, no? Yeah? Okay, we'll do that one. How about you make all the decisions and there is a large focus on discipline? No. Okay. How about telling people what it is they're supposed to be doing rather than asking them to do something?
Kind of in the middle.
Kind of in the middle? Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask somebody to do it. I want them to want to do it.
Got it. So kind of 50-50 on that one. How about empowers people through clear direction with a detailed plan for achieving objectives?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I'd say I agree with that.
Mark that one down. What about gives the individual all the power in decision-making but helps keep them accountable?
Yeah.
Kind of 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Last one is coaching is about wanting to create awareness and perspective within people.
Yeah. You want to, when we're talking about, say, baseball in particular, you want them to have fun, but you want them to learn baseball.
Okay. So now that I have all your answers, this is the type of coach you are, Dan. Are you ready?
Sarah.
You are a democratic, holistic, and developmental coach.
Sure.
That's good. Perfect. Let's get back to politics a little bit. What are some of your goals when you become the next state representative of your district?
The Mon Valley, we have a lot of the same challenges. All of our communities are pretty much parallel. We all have blight problems, and our school districts can strive to be better. We got some great school districts here, but there's always room for improvement.
Well, I hope to see you there and make those types of changes for your community. Well, speaking of McKeesport, let's have some McKeesport trivia. Okay.
I better get these ones right.
Yeah, here we go. All right. In what year was McKeesport incorporated as a borough? Was it 1792, 1842, 1892, or 1902?
That's pretty bad. It's on our city seal. I'm going to say 1792.
Close. 1842.
1842. Okay.
1842. It's okay. I knew
there was a 2 in there. Don't tell our mayor.
I don't know if the mayor is going to watch the podcast or not, but otherwise I won't say anything. Which two rivers converge at McKeesport? Is it Allegheny and Monongahela? Monongahela and Ugione? I am butchering these, by the way.
You are butchering them. You are Youghiogheny, Monongahela.
Monongahela and Youghiogheny, Ohio and Allegheny, Susquehanna and Delaware.
The Youghiogheny, Monongahela. I spent every weekend on the rivers.
Well, thank you for correcting me. What industry spurred significant growth in McKeesport during the 19th century? Was it textile manufacturing, coal mining, agriculture, or shipbuilding?
Textile.
Coal mining.
Coal mining.
Yeah, coal mining. There you go. Which company established a steel mill in McKeesport in 1872, leading to rapid population growth? Was it Bethlehem Steel, National Tube Works, Carnegie Steel Company, or U.S. Steel?
National Tube.
That is correct. Very good. And the last one, McKeesport is located approximately how many miles south of Pittsburgh? Is it 5, 12, 20, or 25 miles?
12.
You got it. There you go. You did a pretty good job. So you're a member of Teamsters Local 205, correct?
Correct.
All right. And they provide bargaining representation to the workers in Western Pennsylvania for about the last 80 years, I think. And the members enjoy union benefits, negotiating better wages, paid time off, more affordable healthcare, and retirement. So what does it mean to you to be part of a union?
I mean, basically what you just said. I mean, they have our backs. They've done very well for, speaking of the McKeesport Police Department. They represent us well. Anytime there's an issue, it gets resolved. Contract time, they've always been in our corner. The city's always been fair with us too, though. So, just we always come to a happy medium because of the Teamsters leadership.
I feel like it plays a big role as a Democrat to be supportive of unions. I mean, I just feel like they go hand in hand. So, I mean, it makes sense to me that you are a Democrat and you're also a union man. Do you find that is just a natural marriage, or it should be anyway?
I agree. You're absolutely right. It's definitely parallel. Definitely on the same page.
That's great. Let's play another game called Misconceptions. Okay, so I'm going to give you some possible misconceptions. You're going to tell me whether or not they're true. Okay?
All right.
So goldfish have a 3-second memory. Is that a misconception or is that true?
I'm going to say true.
Actually, it's a misconception. Goldfish actually have a memory span of months, and they can even be trained to recognize people and perform tricks, which I didn't even know that. I know, pretty crazy, right?
Right?
I know, goldfish actually do not have a 3-second memory. So that
I didn't give them enough credit, I guess.
I know.
All right, goldfish world.
I know. We're going to have a lot more respect for goldfish now. Here's another one. A penny dropped from the Empire State Building can kill someone. Is that a misconception, or can that really happen?
I'm going to say that's a misconception.
That's okay. It is a misconception. Due to air resistance, a penny would flutter down rather than shoot down like a bullet. It might sting a little bit, but it wouldn't be lethal. But I'm not recommending anyone try, of course. All right, here's another one. Bulls hate the color red. Is that true, or is that a misconception?
I'm going to say true.
It's a misconception. Bulls are colorblind to red, and the change in the movement of the cape is what pisses them off and not the color. Okay. So there you go.
I was envisioning like the cape.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess red is the most common one, but it's actually the movement that gets them angry. Here's another one. Humans only use 10% of their brains. Is that true, or is that a misconception? What do you think?
I'm going to say misconception.
That is a misconception. Brain scans show we use virtually all parts of our brain just at different times. So there you go. And here's one more. Einstein failed math in school. Is that true or a misconception?
Say true.
It's a misconception. Einstein excelled in math and physics from a young age, and he later joked about the myth himself.
Okay. I was going to say that sounded like a layup there, but
yeah, it's okay. They were all misconceptions. So there you go. Your election as the next state representative will solidify the Democratic majority in the state house. Do you feel the weight of that responsibility?
I'd be lying if I said no. But the leadership there in F's doing a lot of good work, and I'm looking forward to supporting them.
Mm-hmm. I find it extremely interesting, and you may know this already, but Brian Monroe, who is also an ex-police officer, was the 1-seat majority that they gained when he was elected, which changed the composition of the state house. And now, once again, it is a police officer who will determine the balance of power in the state house.
We save the day more in one way, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. That 1-seat majority means something. I mean, it's protecting Pennsylvanians from abortion bans and defunding public schools and deregulation. So I'm sure you feel that. And I want you to have that responsibility and work with Brian Monroe and the rest of the state house. So
and I was very surprised, during canvassing, how many folks actually know that.
That's great. Yeah. That makes me feel very happy, actually.
Yeah, there was a lot more people than I would imagine know what's on the lap. So.
Excellent. That's good to hear. Well, I said this to you before, but I butchered your name a lot, okay, before we actually talked. And so we're going to play a game called Atelephobia, okay, which actually it's an informal term for a specific phobia that involves an uncontrollable fear of being wrong, okay? And I was getting it wrong so much. So I'm going to describe some famous people who have very difficult names to pronounce, and you're going to try and tell me who they are, okay? All right. Some of them are obscure, so don't feel too bad about it. But this tiny little actress is best known for her big personality in Beasts of the Southern Wild. Does that ring a bell of anyone? No? Well, this is how you pronounce her name. Quenjane Wallish. Here's another one. An award-winning British actor best known for his portrayal of Solomon Northup in the Oscar-winning film 12 Years a Slave. I can see I know what he looks like. He's Chiwetel Ejiofor. Chiwetel Ejiofor. I know. It's a hard name to pronounce. I'm probably still pronouncing it wrong.
I bet you are.
Yes, I probably am. A Beninese-born American actor and model who has starred in movies such as Gladiator and Blood Diamond. Yeah.
I don't know the
You
name,
can
but
probably like visualize
yep,
it. It's
yep.
Jamin Hunsu. Jamin Hunsu. Two more. This actor has had a prolific career. He has starred as Johnny Cash, Napoleon, and the Joker. You'll probably know this one.
Again, I can vision.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Yep,
Joaquin.
yep.
And the last one, this Welsh actor has appeared in the Titanic, Black Hawk Down, and the Fantastic Four. It's Ioan Griffith. Yeah, there you go. That's we played Atelephobia, and I do apologize for butchering your name, but I finally got it right.
It's fine. I'm used to it. 39 years of it.
I'm sure you're not surprised. So you're a police captain, more specifically, captain of detectives. Can you explain what it takes to earn that position?
You got to know the job in and out. I mean, like the other night, 3 a.m, my phone's ringing. Hey, we need help here. You know, they call you because they're saying, hey, what the heck do we got to do? You know, so you kind of got to give them some guidance. You'll be well-rounded. I mean, not saying that nobody knows the job, every answer to the job, but it's got to be like that calm voice that they call in the middle of the night and try to walk them through it and whatnot.
Yeah. So how many detectives are you in charge of?
Right now, I think we have about eight
detectives.
Guys. Yeah. We have 40 plus officers. Our hierarchy is a chief, assistant chief, and captain. So I'm technically third in command.
And are you in charge of helping run all cases, or do you have your own particular case that you can even work on as well?
Kind of both, right? You know, I don't want to be the guy that just points a finger all day. So I take my own cases. I sign it every morning. It's like Groundhog Day. Walk in, we do the paperwork. We divvy up, hey, this needs followed up on, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, I wouldn't want to be that guy that says, oh, well, you guys have fun working today. I'm going to sit here behind my desk. So.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Since we're on the topic of policing, so for people who have a mistrust of police, you know, due to historical precedent and also just for ongoing systemic issues that do exist today, what would you say to those people to allay their fears?
So, you know, I would, you know, one bad incident involving police is too many, right? You know, but there's millions of encounters a year. So, you know, it's like, unfortunately, one's too many. But can we also maybe focus on all the good that goes on? You know, there's a lot of good things, you know, from the old lady calling when her breakers get popped and they called 911 and that police officer from wherever goes and turns her breaker back on and that, you know, and police officers are human and they're not above the law. So if they do something that is, you know, it's warranted, then, you know, they got to face a judge at some point, you know, so, you know, when you hear about it, you know, it does get investigated and whatnot. So, you know, they also have consequences for their actions, just like the average show. Yeah. So I would just like to focus, you know, always try to, you know, to not deflect off of the bad things, but let's also focus on all the good that goes on.
And as a captain, you know, you have a lot of power to set the tone, to set the way that your other detectives should act.
Absolutely.
And so certainly it takes that kind of leadership to say, you know, we are not beyond reproach. And if you do something wrong, I'm going to call you out on it. And if necessary, I'm going to report you to the higher ups. So, you know,
it's a nail on the head.
I think it's important to just know that our leadership really does set the tone. And you are a leader, clearly, because you're a captain. And when you're a state rep, you're going to be leading your entire district. And so everyone's going to be looking to you to set the tone for your district.
Absolutely. And looking forward to setting that tone.
Absolutely. All right, let's play a little Two Truths and a Lie. Do you have 2 truths and a lie for me where I have to guess 3 things if you're telling the truth or not? All right. So tell me 3 things. 2 of them have to be true. 1 of them has to be a lie, but don't tell me. I have to guess.
I met my wife, Lauren, while working at Giant Eagle 20 plus years ago.
Okay.
I was the point guard on my high school basketball team, and I graduated from Allegheny County Police Academy.
Oh man, those are tough because they all sound like totally reasonable. 2 truths. Okay, I'm going to say that you did meet your wife 20 years ago at the Giant Eagle. Is that true? Okay, that's true. And the other 2 are a little bit more complex. I'm going to say the second thing you said was a lie and the third thing's the truth.
If you saw me shoot a basketball right now, if I took this camera out to my driveway and shot on my kid's basketball hoop, you would know that that's a lie.
Did you play any basketball?
No. I think whenever I was 6, 7, 8 years old or something like that. Nothing.
Got it. I got it right. Awesome. Well, thanks for playing that game. You are also a member of the McKeesport School Board, correct?
Correct.
All right, that is a very honorable civic service. And so I just wanted to know what that experience has been like for you.
It's been a good one. We have a really great school district, and there's a lot of people there that care, like that actually love their job. And that actually, like, it opened my eyes that a lot of people, it's just not a job. When I say people, like the administration, the teachers and those people really care about the community and those kids. And, I was very happy to see that people just don't show up for a paycheck.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people doing a lot of good hard work.
Well, at least for where I live, being on the school board is completely, volunteer. Is it also volunteer where you are as well? Yeah.
Yep. I get like a free Tiger sweatshirt. Our mascot's the Tiger, so I get like a free Tiger sweatshirt once a year or something. So.
Got it. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize that there are so many positions within politics at the local levels that are completely volunteer, and you don't get paid for any of it, which to me makes it even more important and even more coveted. So I'm going to have to assume that once you become state rep, you're not going to be able to be on the school board anymore. So I hope that they can fill your shoes. All right. Well, speaking of schools, I want to play a little game called Take Me to School. Just rapid fire questions about what you were like in grade school. Okay. So we already know that you did not play basketball. So what sport did you play?
I dabbled in a little bit of baseball earlier in my high school career, and then I kind of fizzled out for I don't know what reason.
Okay. What was your favorite subject?
Even though I wasn't great at it, I did like math.
Math. Okay. Your least favorite subject?
Chemistry, along those lines. Yeah, my brain just couldn't comprehend it.
Yeah. Did you ever get detention?
More times than I'd like to admit.
Did you learn your lesson, Dan? Did you ever learn your lesson? No.
Probably not. It was always over tardiness.
Okay.
I grew up like 15 feet from the high school campus. And I think that was in my brain, like, hey, you only live right here. And I was late. I was late every damn day.
Did the principal ever walk over to your house and knock on the door and say, Dan, get your ass back in school. Let's go.
No, but she would just say, go back home. And it was always like 30 seconds late. Then I started getting my money's worth. Like, hey, I'm already 30 seconds late. Let me walk to the store and get an iced tea and be 20 minutes late.
Oh, that's funny. All right. And last one was, who was your prom date?
My wife, Lauren.
Oh, really? Wow. So you both went to the same high school?
Yep. And kind of met through Giant Eagle, like I said.
Yeah.
And then 20-something years later, 3 kids. And
3 kids.
3 crazy dogs.
And you have 3 dogs?
Yeah.
You're brave, man.
My house is crazy.
That sounds like a lot.
My house is crazy.
Do you have to walk them, or do you have enough land where they can just run around?
We have a fence in the backyard, so we just open up the back door and scurry them out.
So I'll tell you a little joke, and then we'll finish out. Okay. So there's 3 people sitting around having tea. Okay. There's a rabbi, a priest, and a member of the clergy. Okay. And they're talking about when life begins. All right. And so the member of the clergy says, when the sperm meets the egg, that's when life begins. And then the priest says, no. When the child leaves the mother and the Holy Spirit enters, that's when life begins. And the rabbi puts down his tea and says, we both have it wrong. When the kids go to college and the dog dies, that's when life begins. I don't have any pets. I did grow up on a farm. I had a lot of pets growing up. But with 3 kids, that's just enough. So you're very brave.
I can spare a dog or 2. I'll give me my address. We'll UPS them or something.
Oh my God. No, we're not going to do that. All right. 2 more questions for you. What gives you hope?
It's, when you, like I said earlier, when you go out and you see all these teachers and these policemen, these firemen doing their jobs, actually out helping people, it gives you hope. It's not all the doom and gloom that you see on the news. Like, there was actually a fundraiser yesterday locally here that our firemen put together. This year it included our canine unit, but in years past they've had many. It's called Cope for Kids. Okay. They do all this fundraising all year to buy every elementary kid in our school district coats. And
that's a very nice initiative.
And surprised how many kids you see wearing these coats. So it shows you that they really needed that coat, and things like that. It's all the good things that go on that we don't hear about.
Small acts of kindness.
Yep.
Yeah. And my last question for you is, what plans do you have to get yourself through these next few years? I mean, aside from running for office, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the country right now. And so what are you doing to get yourself through that?
I have a great family, just hanging out with my family, talking to them about stuff. And, obviously my kids aren't really aware what's going on locally, let alone nationally or whatever. But, chugging along for my kids, trying to do my footprint on whatever I can handle what's in my front porch, to kind of make things better for not just the next few years, for their lives.
Yeah, it's good to pull from family for strength. I agree. Well, Dan, I am super excited that you're running for this seat. You need to win this seat. You must win this seat. And I have faith that you're going to do it. It sounds like you have a very supportive team. And it really does seem like your community understands what's at stake.
They do.
So for anyone listening, if you'd like to help Dan out, you can go to danforstaterep.com. And I'm sure you can make a donation to his campaign, sign up for phone banking, or even if you live in his district, do some door knocking. But this is a Pennsylvania initiative. Even if you don't live in Dan's district, we all need to be focusing and engaging and rooting Dan on, because his race, his seat will affect all of us, every Pennsylvanian. Regardless of how many days are left, we need to be acting like the election's tomorrow, and we need to be getting out the vote. So thanks again. Any last words, Dan, for your first podcast ever?
First podcast ever, first for something. Yeah.
Hey, you did great.
No, Dan for PA on March 25th. Please get out and vote. We need to, it's a special election. The numbers are going to be low. Crazy things have happened. We need to get out and vote.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining me here on the Zekely Podcast. Stay hopeful and get involved. And until next time, let's keep building a stronger Pennsylvania together.
Thanks, buddy.